I have to admit, I feel a little bit cheated.
Oh, yeah.
When I clear my schedule for India versus Pakistan, I'm mentally preparing for a specific kind of cardiac event,
Yeah,
you know.
right. High drama, high blood pressure, very thin margins. That's the history.
Exactly. I'm expecting the last over, some chaotic run out, a six off the final ball. That is the contract we sign up for as fans.
It is.
But this, I'm looking at the scorecard. India winning by 61 runs. And it feels like I tuned into the wrong channel.
I mean, in a T20, a 61-run victory isn't just a win.
No, it's a statement. A statement that the other team maybe shouldn't have even been on the field.
It's a massive margin. To put that in perspective for you, if you maybe only watch the big tournaments, games are often decided by 4 or 5 runs.
A single boundary.
Exactly. Winning by 61 is, I don't know, it's the equivalent of a boxing match ending in the second round because one guy just stops fighting.
And that's what we need to figure out today. Because looking at the sheer volume of analysis that came out after this match, the narrative isn't, wow, India got lucky or Pakistan had a bad day.
No.
The phrase I keep seeing everywhere in the research is tactical dominance.
That is the perfect description. This wasn't a contest of emotion. It was a clinic in reading the conditions. I mean, if you look at the source material we have, the story of this match isn't in the boundaries hit.
No.
It's in the decisions made before the ball was even bowled.
Okay, so let's start there then, with the conditions. Everything seems to stem from where they were playing. The notes keep mentioning this slow Colombo pitch. Now, to a casual observer, a pitch is a pitch. It's 22 yards of dirt.
Right.
Why does slow make such a massive difference here?
So when we talk about a slow pitch, specifically in Colombo, we aren't just saying the ball travels slowly. It's about the texture of the soil. It's tacky.
Yeah.
The ball grips the surface when it lands.
So it's almost like it's getting stuck in clay.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. Imagine trying to bounce a tennis ball on a sandy beach versus bouncing it on concrete.
Okay.
On this pitch, the ball kind of stops on you. As a batter, you're used to using the bowler's pace. You just deflect or guide it. On a slow pitch, that pace is just gone. You have to generate all the power yourself.
Okay.
And if you swing too early, which is the natural instinct in T20, you just end up slicing it straight up in the air.
Which brings us to India's batting. They put up 175 for 7. Now, in this age of the IPL where we're seeing scores of 220, 240, 175 sounds, fine. It sounds decent.
This sounds okay.
But I'm guessing on this tennis ball on a beach surface, 175 is actually a monster total.
It's huge. The analysts ran the numbers on the PAR score, which is basically the average winning score for these specific conditions, and they pegged it at roughly 160.
Wow.
So India didn't just get a good score, they went 15 runs above the mathematical ceiling of the pitch.
And the architect of that, Ishan Kishan, 77 runs. But looking at the breakdown of his innings, it wasn't just, see ball, hit ball.
No, not at all. And that's where the tactical dominance really starts. India lost early wickets.
Right.
And usually when you lose early wickets on a difficult pitch, the instinct is to go into a shell. You try to survive, maybe get to 130, and hope your bowlers can save you. Kishan did the opposite.
The notes describe his approach as aggressive but controlled, which sounds like a paradox.
Yeah.
How do you attack without being reckless when your team's in trouble?
It's about calculated risk. See, Kishan realized that if he just blocked, the ball would get softer, the pitch would get even slower, and scoring would become impossible later. So he counterattacked, but only against specific deliveries.
Okay.
He stabilized the innings by rotating the strike, but the moment a bowler missed his length, he punished it. He forced them to change their plans.
It's interesting you say that because it felt like he was playing a different game than everyone else for a while. He wasn't trying to hit it into the parking lot every time. He was playing the field.
He was playing the percentages. And because he stayed there, scoring that 77, he laid a platform. And this is the crucial part of the strategy. Because Kishan did the heavy lifting, it allowed the finishers, Rinku Singh and Dubey, to come in at the end with total freedom.
I do want to talk about those two because their contribution might get overlooked next to a 77.
Easily.
But those late runs pushing from, say, 150 to 175, that feels like the dagger.
It's absolutely the dagger. In those final overs, the ball is old, it's soft.
And it's so hard to hit.
It's incredibly hard to hit. But Rinku and Dubey have this ability to generate raw power from a standstill. They just muscled the ball to the boundary.
And that ties back to the psychology of the chase, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned par score earlier. If India finishes on 155, Pakistan walks into the dressing room thinking,
Okay, tough pitch, but if we bat smart, we got this.
exactly. 155 is a manageable target. You can build in innings. But 175, that number just changes the air in the room. It creates scoreboard pressure before ball is even bowled.
Totally. Pakistan's batters know they can't just knock it around. They have to take risks from ball one against a bowling attack that is already smelling blood.
So India sets the trap with the bat. They get to a total that is, statistically improbable to chase. Now let's flip to the second half, the bowling,
The two-phase destruction.
which is a terrifying way to describe a cricket match, but yeah, it's accurate.
It really is.
Phase 1, the power play. Bumrah and Aksar Patel. The scorecard says Pakistan was reduced to 13 for 3.
13 runs, 3 wickets in professional T20 cricket. That's catastrophic.
Is it necessarily game over, though? I mean, we've seen miraculous recovery. You think of Maxwell, Miller players who can single-handedly win from impossible positions.
Sure.
Why was this 13 for 3 the end of the road?
Because of the pitch. If this were a flat track in Mumbai, maybe you swing your way out of trouble. But on a slow Colombo pitch, you can't trust your timing. You need time to settle in. But because they lost 3 wickets immediately, the incoming batters didn't have that luxury. They had to survive against Bumrah, who is arguably the best all-format bowler in the world, and they had to score at 10 and over.
It's a mathematical impossibility.
Pretty much. It effectively killed their game plan. Whatever strategy they had, attack the 5th bowler, target the zone, it all goes out the window when you're 3 down inside 4 overs.
Yeah, they were forced into survival mode when the scoreboard was screaming for them to attack.
Exactly. That conflict. That's what causes the panic. And you have to give credit to the selection here using Aksar Patel in the power play. He's a spinner, but he bowls with this dart-like accuracy. On that pitch, it was lethal.
And that leads us right into phase 2, the spin choke. This is why I want to get a bit technical. We keep saying spin is effective on slow pitches. But why? What is physically happening?
Okay, so with wrist spinners like Kuldeep Yadav and Varun Chakravarti, they are putting a tremendous amount of revolutions on the ball. When that spinning ball hits a tacky surface, 2 things happen. 1, it grips, so the turn is exaggerated. It just rips past the bat. But 2, and this is the killer, it loses pace unpredictably.
So the batter sees the ball coming, thinks he knows where it's going to be, swings, and the ball just isn't there yet.
Or it's already past him. It completely messes with your proprioception, your timing, and then you consider the variation. Kuldeep is a classic wrist spinner. He gets drift and big turn. Varun is a mystery spinner. He bowls quicker, flatter, and the ball skids on.
So you've got one guy turning it square and the other one sliding it through your defense, and you can't pick which is which.
You got it. And because Pakistan was already 3 wickets down, they couldn't attack them. They were frozen. The data shows they couldn't even rotate the strike. They were just stuck at one end, absorbing dot balls, which just jacks up the run rate, which leads to more panic. It's a vicious cycle.
It sounds claustrophobic, like the walls are closing in on you.
Suffocating is the word the experts used. The verdict was perfect variation. India used pace up front to break them physically, and then spin to just strangle them tactically.
We've talked a lot about India's brilliance, and rightly so. But a game has 2 teams. We have to look at Pakistan. The outline says collapse, but collapse feels like something that happens by accident. This felt more systemic.
It was a systemic failure of application. The contrast is really what stands out. India adapted to the conditions. Pakistan seemed to be fighting them.
The analysis points out 3 key failures.
Yeah.
The first one we already touched on, the power play batting.
It was just frantic. You compare it to Ishan Kishan. He took a few balls, looked at the pitch, realized, okay, it's slow, and adjusted. Pakistan's top order came out trying to hit through the line as if they were playing on a totally different surface.
They didn't assess.
No, they just executed predetermined shots. They paid for it.
Then there's the second point, lack of intent versus spin. This one baffles me. You know spin is India's weapon. You know the pitch favors it. Why did they look so clueless?
It goes straight back to the early wickets. Because they were 13 for 3, the middle order was terrified of getting out.
So they went defensive.
Into a total defensive shell. But against wrist spin, if you don't use your feet, if you don't disrupt the bowler's length, you are a sitting duck. They let the Indian spinners bowl perfectly to their fields. There was just no disruption.
And the third failure, no partnerships.
That's the golden rule. You need someone at the other end. You need to talk, hey, watch out for the googly, or this end is harder to score from.
Yeah.
Pakistan had 0 significant partnerships. It was a procession.
One guy out, next guy in.
Faces 6 balls, gets out. There was no continuity at all.
We have to mention Usman Khan. He scored 44. The notes call him the sole resistance.
And honestly, his 44 makes the rest of the batting card look even worse because he showed that it was possible to score runs if you applied yourself.
Yeah.
He was fighting a lone battle on a sinking ship. If just one other batter had stuck with him, maybe they get to 140, maybe they make a game of it, but he was completely isolated.
The expert commentary was pretty harsh on this. One quote that stuck out to me was that Pakistan looked no match tactically. That's a stinging thing to hear.
It cuts deep because it implies that the skin gap wasn't the issue, the brain gap was. It suggests Pakistan didn't do their homework. They didn't have a plan B when plan A failed in the first 10 minutes.
Which, in modern cricket, with all the analysts and data, that's just inexcusable.
It really is.
So let's zoom out a little bit. We love identifying the turning points in these deep dives. If you had to pin the result on just a few specific moments, where was the game actually won?
I think there are 3 distinct moments. First, obviously, is Ishan Kishan stabilizing that innings. Without him, India might have been bowled out for 1 in 30, and we're having a very different conversation.
Right. That saved the game before it could be lost.
Second is the push to 175. Those extra 20 runs from Rinku and Dubey gave the bowlers the buffer they needed to be aggressive. If India had only scored 155, Bumrah might have bowled more defensively in the power play.
And the third?
The first 6 overs of the chase. Reducing Pakistan to 13 for 3, the analysis suggests the probability of Pakistan winning dropped to near 0, right there. The match was effectively over.
It's wild to think about. We watched the whole 3.5 hours, but the result was sealed in, what, a 10-minute window of fast bowling?
That's T20. It's unforgiving. You blink, you lose.
I want to touch on this comparative analysis in our notes about the mental states. It says India showed better game awareness while Pakistan struggled with panic. To me, panic in sports usually means you stop thinking and you start just hoping.
That's a great definition. Game awareness is about reading the room. India realized, okay, we can't play our usual game here. We have to grind. They accepted the reality of the pitch.
And Pakistan?
Pakistan tried to defy reality. They played the game they wanted to play, not the game that was in front of them. And when that didn't work, the pressure from the scoreboard just caused them to crumble.
So wrapping this up, the big takeaway here isn't just that India won, it's how they won. The experts are calling this one of the most complete T20 performances in recent history.
Complete is the operative word. Think about it. The batting had stabilizers and power hitters. The bowling had elite pace and mystery spin. The fielding was sharp. Every single cog in the machine worked exactly as intended.
That's so rare.
It is. Even in great wins, usually one department has to bail out another. Here, everyone did their job perfectly.
And to do that against your biggest rival, with all the external noise and pressure, that's just impressive.
And it really challenges the stereotype of T20 cricket. We often think of this format as a slugfest. Who has the biggest muscles? Who has the thickest bat?
Yeah, we're conditioned to look for the highlights. The sixes over the roof.
Exactly. But this match proved that the deadliest weapon isn't bat speed, it's the brain. It's the spin choke. It's reading the soil conditions. It's knowing when to hold back. India dismantled Pakistan not with brute force, but with precision engineering.
So for you listening, the next time you're watching a T20 and the score seems a bit low or the game seems to be dragging,
look closer. Look at the field placements. Watch the bowling changes. Is the captain bringing on spin because he wants a wicket, or is it because he wants to slow the whole game down?
it turns the game from a spectacle into high-speed chess.
High-speed chess on a muddy board.
I love that.
Yeah.
High-speed chess in the mud.
But that's the beauty of it. A 61-run win looks boring on paper. But when you peel back the layers, it really is a masterpiece of strategy.
And for Pakistan, where do they go from here?
Back to the whiteboard. The talent is there. Usman Khan showed flashes of it. But talent without tactical discipline gets you nowhere against a team like this. They need to learn how to build partnerships and, respect the conditions.
Before we let you go, here's a final thought for you to chew on. We talk so much about the evolution of cricket, bigger bats, smaller boundaries, new rules.
Right.
But maybe the real evolution is happening upstairs.
In the mind.
Exactly. In a format that's defined by power, this match proved that Game awareness, that old-school ability to read a pitch, is still the ultimate edge. Maybe the future of T20 isn't just about who can hit the ball the furthest, but who can think the fastest under pressure.
Intelligence is the ultimate power-up. I like that.
Something to think about the next time you see a team defending a low score. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Always a pleasure.
And to you listening, keep watching the game, not just the scoreboard. We'll catch you on the next one.